Hello, my little baking elves. Welcome to today's treat. We are going to make edible Santa's coal out of these fun ingredients here. But first things first, kiddos, we need to make sure that we have permission from our adults and help because we are going to be working with the oven today. Our ingredients that we will need are some marshmallows. You can get the big ones, little ones, or medium ones. It just changes our recipe. So we'll talk a little bit about that later. We need butter. We only need 3 tablespoons. We do not need a full cube. This is optional. If you want to grab some black food coloring, it can be gel or liquid. Either one works. And then some Oreos. And you can grab any Oreos you would like. I got Mega Stuff because that is my dad's favorite. So now we know what ingredients we need. We need to know what tools we need. So our first tool is a spatula for stirring. We need a knife to cut our butter. We're going to need a Ziploc to put our Oreos in because we're going to smash them. We need some parchment paper. And parchment papers, kiddos, is a non-stick paper, so we can put our treats on them at the very end, and it won't melt this paper, and it's somewhere to house our treats. We're going to need a big pot to melt our butter marshmallow goodness in, and then finally, we will need a bowl to put our marshmallows in temporarily. Okay, kiddos, once we have all of our ingredients and our tools, we are going to start making our Christmas treat. So we are going to put our Oreos in a Ziploc baggie. We're going to try to flatten them out as much as we can because we're going to smash them. Make sure you try to get the majority of the air out of there, and then we are going to zip this up tight. And then to smash your Oreos, kiddos, you can use your hands, you can use a large spoon, or you can use a rolling pin. And what you're going to do is you're just going to smack down on the Oreos until they are in tiny little pieces. Once our Oreos are all smashed using our tool, we can go through with our hands and try to break up some of the bigger pieces. Don't worry about them all being the same size because it does not matter. All right, once we have our Oreos all good and ready to go, we're gonna set these aside and we are gonna grab our butter and a small knife. Remember to ask for help on this part, kiddos. And we are going to cut 3 tablespoons of butter. And 3 tablespoons is bigger than 3 teaspoons. So make sure that you are paying attention. And if you have a whole stick of butter, most times they say how many tablespoons are on there so you can count, or it will count for you. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to cut safely 3 tablespoons of butter. And then we are going to unpeel this and throw it in our pot to melt later. Now we're going to set that aside. And next we are going to count out our marshmallows, and we're going to put them in a bowl for right now. So kiddos, I counted out 20 large marshmallows since I'm using the large ones. If you're using the medium size or the normal size marshmallows, I would probably use about 40 or 10 ounces roughly. And then if you are using small marshmallows, use the whole pack. All right, now it is time for the oven. So we are going to take all of our materials, to the oven. I'll see you guys there. All right, friends, now we are ready to melt our butter on the stove. So we have our 3 tablespoons in there. And I'm just using my spatula to move it around. And I am on medium heat right now. We'll turn it down to low when we add our marshmallows. But we're just going to make sure our butter is all melted here. All right, once our butter is all melted and looks all nice and yummy like this, we're going to pour our marshmallows in. We want to try to coat our marshmallows with the butter. Might be a little hard if you have big marshmallows, or it might take a little bit of extra time. But we have all of our marshmallows here, and we're going to turn down our heat a little bit down to low so we do not burn our marshmallows. Sugar is easy to burn, so we want to make sure that we're being careful. And I have my Oreos right beside me and my black food coloring, since that will be our next step after our marshmallows are melted. All right, kiddos, when it starts looking like this and you just have little lumps of leftover marshmallow, you are almost done. So keep stirring your marshmallows and get them all melted and yummy. All right, friends, once your marshmallows look like this and there are no lumps left, you're going to turn off your stove, but leave your pot on here. And we're going to add a couple drops of food coloring. I bought gel, so mine will look a little different than yours. You can do as much as you want, depends how black you want it. I might turn purple at first. Mix this all in until you have the black color that you want. And this is optional, kiddos. You do not have to use food coloring if you do not want to, or if you don't have any. This is purple for Miss Jones, so I think I'm going to have to add more. Once you have the black color you want, you can add in your Oreos, friends. And we're just going to stir these into our marshmallow mixture. So we're just going to stir these bad boys in. It smells so good. Nice lumps of coal. All right. I think it is time for us to lump up our coal, friends. So we are going to grab a oven mitt or two because this is hot, and we are going to move over to a table with our parchment paper. All right, kiddos. Once we have our parchment paper laid out and our big pot on something like a rag or an oven mitt so it doesn't ruin the table, we're going to use 2 spoons. I think 2 spoons are easier than 1, and make little balls of our lumps of coal. And they are very sticky, kiddos, so you have to be super careful. You can use pan if you want to spray your spoons, or butter, and you're going to make little lumps of coal. I can't wait to see what you guys create.